All right, now we're gonna have some fun, but I got to do a little work ahead of time. It's February 15th, 2024. The training for the guns and rockets is going to be fun. We finally get to shoot at something. Except this training is broken. It is broken for the A10C2. It is not broken for the A10 Guns and Rockets training, which I did last year, and I verified that. So I'm going to explain really quick what's broken, and I'm going to make a part B video showing how I fixed it. But currently, I'll be flying the training where it has been repaired. The failure, I'm going to tell you up front, one major failure and then a couple things that are minor. The payload that they set up for the A10C2 is wrong. They set up racks 3 and 4 and 8 and 9 with rockets, when in reality the correct payload should have been 2 and 3 and 9 and 10. And by having those rockets offset in the racks, which you see in the beginning when he actually shows the payload, more importantly, just before you're going to fire the rockets at the range, he has you deactivate a left and right rack so you don't use up all your rockets in case you failed in your attempt. You can come around and use the other two racks. But because the racks are in the wrong place, the yellow boxes around the two racks never go away, and he no longer continues the training, and that's the end of that. So I fixed that, and I did it by the fact that I'm getting very good in the mission editor, and believe it or not, the mission editor is so powerful, but you can go into the mission editor and find this training and change the payload, which is what I did. But I also took care of a couple of other things. There was no moving trucks at the range when it came time to do the gun run. I took care of that, explain that later. And the other thing that's really minor is when you're flying at 6,000 feet in the beginning and he's talking about the reticules, the different reticules for the guns and rockets, they don't actually show up if you're flying level. You have to have your nose pointed towards the ground. So I'll keep descending at idle for those training sessions up there, and then I'll get back up to 6,000 feet because that's where he wants us to be before I make the turn to, I think, turning to waypoint 3. Anyway, let's get started. And I will be editing the video to include some split screens in the two places where it shows the payload so you can see the difference. Let's start.
Welcome to the training flight on the employment of unguided rockets and the GAL-8A gun against stationary and mobile ground targets. In this lesson, we'll review the HUD indications for gun and rocket employment, and then you'll have some range time to try a few strafing runs. Before taking off, let's configure some settings for the sortie. First, set the IFC to test mode by left-clicking once so we can set up some gun options.
Left click.
Use the Select Rocker key to scroll down to the Weapons page and press the Enter key to select it.
Alright, here we go. Scroll down to Weapons. Hit Enter.
Now press the Enter key once again to enter the 30mm page. Press the Data Rocker key to set the ammo type to Combat Mix because we are carrying live ammo today. Then scroll down to the min out setting and use the data rocker key again to set the minimum altitude to 500 feet. When finished, scroll down to Store and press Enter to exit this menu. Exit the previous menu using the exit line.
Alright, so our ammo is already on Combat Mixed, CM. And by the way, Combat Mixed is a combination of high explosive ammo and depleted uranium tank killing ammo that can literally, when it hits a tank, it literally burrows through the thick metal with the depleted uranium and actually destroys the tank. So that's already set, so we need to go down to minimum altitude, set it for 500. So we'll use the select, and then we'll use the up data key, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. And then we go down, we got to store this. And then we've got to exit. Go down to exit. There we go.
You can now set the IFC switch back to on by right-clicking once.
Alright.
Let's also take a look at the DSMS to review our payload. Press OSB 14 on the left MFCD.
Alright, let's look at our payload. This is where I'm going to be showing a split screen. The right split screen will show my edited payload, which will be correct. The left screen will show what this training looked like originally.
We are carrying a total of 4 LAU-68 rocket pods. These are loaded on stations 2 and 3 and 9 and 10. Let's adjust some release parameters. Press OSB 1 to enter the profile main page.
Alright, so you could probably see the difference there. Let's continue.
Press OSB 19 to select the profile, and then press OSB 3 to enter the profile control page.
19 is to scroll down through the menu. And then we got to view the profile for the rockets.
Press the OSB 6 rotary to set the release type to ripple pairs. Set the ripple quantity to 3 by using the 3 key on the UFC, followed by the ripple quantity rotary on OSB 8. Press OSB 3 to save the profile changes.
So, first, you need ripple pairs, ripple single, ripple pairs. Second, and I guess let's look up here so we can see the scratch pad. There we go. Press 3. Well, our scratch pad is right here behind that. And then plug it in here. And then we're going to save it.
Let's now bring up the TAD page for takeoff.
So I'm going to bring up the TAD, make it soy, and switch the range to like 40 so that we can see all the waypoints from here. Later on I can bring the range back, the zoom back down when we get close to the range.
We are now ready to proceed with the flight. Take off runway heading for waypoint 2. Climb to 6,000 feet.
Alright, we're 40-mile range. You can see all of our waypoints. We'll be heading to waypoint 2, then to 3, and the range is at 4. Now I'm going to make the HUD the soy again. Here we go. And let's get out of this zoom because we're ready to take off. We're supposed to head to waypoint 2. So I need to hit my DMS up button. Waypoint 2. Let's verify a few things. Speed brakes are down. Flaps are at takeoff. Anti-skid on. Landing lights on. Pitot heat is on. And I also want to make sure, I always forget, to turn on the A10CII. So we'll have a nice, we'll be able to see our speed and radar altimeter out the side while we're trying to find the moving trucks when it's time to do the gun run for the second pass. They're kind of hard to spot. All right, so also our nose wheel steering is on. And I think that's all we need to check. We're ready to go to max throttle. Take off, etc. Here we go. Okay. Nose wheel steering is going to come off right now. Time to rotate. Gear up. Speed come up to 180.
Maintain 180 knots in the climb.
Flaps up. There we go. 178, 179, 180. All right. Let's stay about here. Trim down a bit. A little more. A little more. Okay. So let's turn off the anti-skid. Turn off the landing lights. And
let's set the master arm and gun pack switches on the A10CII to arm. Be ready for a slight stick forward input from the flight control system as precision attitude control is engaged.
Alright, so we got to put ourselves into arm. Right click.
Pack will help keep the aircraft stable when the first stage of the trigger is depressed. This will help minimize pitch and yaw moments during cannon fire and achieve a tighter shot grouping around the gun pipper.
Alright, 4,600
Level off at
feet.
6,000 feet and maintain max engine power for waypoint 2.
A little off course here. There we go. 55. 7, 8, 9.
Autopilot is on.
Warning,
Let's
autopilot.
review the HUD indication relevant to gun employment. If not currently set, make sure the HUD is in guns mode by pressing the Hold Task Master Mode button or M key on the keyboard.
Master mode. There's our guns. Combat mix 1150.
The gun bore line cross is displayed above the center of the HUD.
Here we go. Let's
This cross represents
descend.
the longitudinal axis of the gun. You may have to turn slightly off course to see the GBL cross.
Warning,
The
autopilot.
gun ammo type and amount remaining are
Here we
displayed
go.
in the data block of the left corner of the HUD. This currently
There's our
indicates
reticule.
CM1150 for 1,150 rounds of combat mix. The A10CII features 4 air-to-ground gun sight reticle options. The default and most informative reticle is the CCIP gun reticle, currently displayed on the HUD. Press the numpad asterisk key to zoom in on the HUD for a closer view of the gun sight.
Yeah, well. Anyway, you can see how much you have to have the nose pointed down to see that reticule.
The main features of the CCIP gun reticle are the pipper dot in the center of the reticle and the unwinding range bar around the circumference. The 4 hash marks at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions reference the slant range to the target in thousands of feet. When in range, the range bar unwinds counterclockwise.
You're going to see it
For
unwind
example,
here pretty quick.
if the range bar is at the bottom of the reticle, the slant
There goes.
range in feet is 6,000.
Because we're getting
The
close to the
CCIP gun reticle also features a numerical
ground.
indication of the slant range to target in nautical miles below the reticle. Finally, 2 moving target index marks inside the reticle indicate the aimingly required for a moving target traveling at 20 knots in a perpendicular direction to the pipper line of sight.
Altitude, altitude.
These are currently latched to the outside limit of the reticle at 3 and 9 o'clock positions due to the high slant range.
Alright.
Set
So
your steer
that-
point for waypoint 3 and let's head back inward. I'm going to
Okay,
disengage the autopilot so you can make the turn.
yeah. I'm going to get back up to 6,000 feet before I make that turn to waypoint 3. Let's change it to 3. But let's get
Autopilot
back up
is
here.
off. You have control.
You want to follow his instructions, and if we don't get to 6,000 feet, we might not meet the parameters of the mission and he might stop the training. I will drop it again when he wants to show the reticules in the next session here. $200 knots. Let's get down to, here we go, 10 degrees. Okay, that's good. There we go. All right, we're almost at 6,000. There we go. Let's level out and head towards waypoint 3. There we go. Hey, there it is. Daydreaming.
Autopilot is on. Make sure
Alright.
the HUD is set as SOI using the HOTAS GUI hat up command
Yep,
or
it's
U on the
SOI.
keyboard. Press the HOTAS DMS right command or page down on the keyboard to switch the gun sight to the CCIP gun cross.
CCIP gun cross. Well, I thought that's what we're on.
The CCIP gun cross is a more compact version
Warning,
of the
autopilot.
CCIP gun reticle.
There
It provides the same aim accuracy, but is less intrusive on the HUD and does not include the moving target index marks. Press the HOTAS DMS right command or page down on the keyboard again to select the 4812 gun reticle.
Okay, there's the gun cross.
The 4812 gun reticle is a degraded version of the CCIP gun reticle. It provides 3 impact point peppers inside the reticle for the preset ranges of 4,000, 8,000, and 12,000 feet. Normally, you would only use this gun sight if accurate target elevation data was not available for a CCIP solution. Press the HOTAS DMS right command or page down on the keyboard to select the 4,000 foot gun cross sight.
These don't mind if you're flying level. These two
The
reticules.
4,000 foot gun cross presets a gun solution for a range of 4,000 feet. Once again, this would normally be used only in cases of inaccurate target elevation data preventing a CCIP solution. All gun sights will indicate a minimum range Q as a triangular index to the right of the reticle when you are within 5 seconds of the minimum altitude set in the IFC 30mm menu. If you recall, we set this to 500 feet. The MRC will appear on level with the top of the reticle when you are within 5 seconds of the minimum altitude and move down to be on level with the bottom of the reticle when you are 5 seconds below the minimum altitude. Press the HOTAS DMS right command or page down on the keyboard again to return to the CCIP gun reticle.
Alright. Back to CCIP invalid.
Let's bring up CCIP mode to review HUD indication used for unguided rockets. Press the HOTAS Master Mode button once or the M key on the keyboard.
Let's get up to 6,000 before I do that. I think I'll have to pitch my nose down for these reticules as well.
Press the HOTAS DMS right command or page down on the keyboard to select rockets as the active profile.
Rockets.
The rocket CCIP reticle is very similar to the CCIP gun reticle, except it will not utilize the moving target index marks. An RKT indication is added to the bottom of the reticle to identify this as a rocket sight. When employing rockets, the HUD continues to display a gun solution using a CCIP gun cross sight. This allows you to quickly follow a rocket attack with a gun strafe in the same paths. Additional indication on the HUD when using rockets includes the time of fall numeric at the top of the data block in the bottom left corner of the HUD. This currently reads 20 for 20 seconds. Set your steer point for waypoint 4 and let's turn toward the range. I'm going to disengage the autopilot so you can make the turn.
Alright. Back up to 6,000.
Autopilot is off. You have control.
Warning, autopilot.
Let's get up to 6,000 before I make that turn to waypoint 4. Waypoint 4 is the range. $5,500. 7. Here we go. Waypoint 4. Here we go. Degrees, 40 degrees off to the right. 20, 10. Here it is. There's a
Waypoint 4
reticule
is set up
down
over the
there.
target range. A number of targets are positioned for rocket and gun fire. Your targets will be marked with smoke markers for each pass. Waypoint 4 is set up over the target range. A number of targets are positioned for rocket and gun fire. Your targets will be marked with smoke markers for each pass. As we approach the range, bring up the DSMS page on the left MFCD by pressing OSB 14.
Alright, here we are.
Your first target will be a group of stationary trucks set up for a rocket pass on the southwest corner of the range array. The target is now marked with red smoke and you are cleared hot.
Alright.
Press OSB 8 and 18 to deselect the stations from the active profile, in case you need a second try. As you approach to within 4 nautical miles, reduce power and begin to dive toward the target. The range bar will begin to unwind as you fly within weapons range. Keep the pepper on the target and open fire when within 2 nautical miles. Press and hold the trigger to fire the entire weapon quantity. Do not target fixate. As soon as the attack is complete, pull up and away from the target toward the water and climb to regain altitude.
3.3 miles to the bottom of the reticule. 2.8. I'm at idle. 2.4. 2.2. 2.
Good hits on those targets. Come off the target to the west toward the water and climb to 3,000 feet. We'll do a gun pass next.
Excellent. $28, $29, we're at 3,000.
Switch to guns mode by pressing the Hold Task Master Mode button or the M key on the keyboard. Target 2 will be a group of stationary APCs
Alright, we're
on the
in
northeast
guns.
corner of the range array. The target is now marked with red smoke. Roll in on the target and strike down upon it with great vengeance and furious anger.
Northeast corner. like the northwest corner to me, but here we go. 3 miles away. 2.7. Here we go.
Pull up, pull up.
Good hits on those targets. Climb to
Altitude,
3,000
altitude.
feet for a final gun pass against the moving target.
340 feet. That was stupid. Boy, that was a bad run. Now we're going to do the moving targets.
Your final target will be a group of 2 vehicles. The target is moving clockwise around the target array. Target position now marked with red smoke. Cleared hot.
Now, we got to take a pass to go find them. You'll see that there's smoke in a particular place, but they're not necessarily at the smoke, they'll just be near the smoke. So first we need to find out where they're at. Alright, there's some smoke out in the grass. If I can spot them from here, I'll do it, but first we need to see where they're at, I think. I see the smoke. I don't see the vehicles. Where are they? It's not good. I don't see him. Let's get up. There we go. Where are they? Let's get back down. Whoa. Not that much. Where are they? What the heck? It's somewhere. Can't see them. They're not by that smoke out there.
Pull up, pull up.
This is crazy.
Pull up, pull up. Altitude, altitude.
He's just sitting there? They're supposed to be moving. Did they get damaged in their traveling or something? What the hell's going on?
Pull up, pull up.
This is pretty crazy. There they are! Right below me! Alright. Now we know where they're at. We're already at 33,000 feet. Now we can do it. Why couldn't I see him in all those passes I made? Let's get back up to 3,000. Just come around. $3,000. Alright. This may not be enough time to get lined up. Let's see. There they are, right in front of me. Oh mama.
Good hits on those targets. Climb out to 3,000
Pull
feet
up,
and level
pull
up.
up. Altitude, altitude.
It took me 8 passes to find those trucks. I don't know where they were hiding. I think I hit both of them though. We'll make one pass past them just to take a look if they're still there. Alright.
Rockets can also be employed in CCRP mode by designating a SPI over the target using the HUD TDC, the TAD cursor, or the TGP. This would allow you to engage from a longer range or even employ a lofting trajectory to reach targets at longer range, but the accuracy of such an attack will be diminished significantly. We'll try using CCRP mode with free fall and precision guided munitions instead. This concludes the training lesson on the use of the gun and unguided rockets against stationary and moving ground targets.
Alright, so I've still got 7 pairs of rockets on each rack, so I'm hitting the master mode button. And we're on rockets. I'm going to make a pass on the other end of the runway where there's like 6 trucks. See if we can let's get up to 6,000 feet here. Get my finger on the weapons release. I think those trucks are right here on on this end of this runway. Alright, here we go. Are they here? Oh shoot, I forgot to activate the rockets. You silly goose. There we go. Oh well. I wanted to see, are those trucks still burning there? Right over them right now. Alright. Let's try it again. This time we'll actually have rockets available. We don't need that anymore. Let's see where we're at. Alright, let's come around. This is good. There we go. Right here. I think they're right here. Where's the reticule? What the hell? How did we get on that reticule?
Pull up! Pull up!
What the heck? We're not on the right reticule. Oh, mama. No. How did that get changed? Die. Alright, one more pass. Okay. You can see we're 3.3 miles away. We'll get above 4 before we make the turn. I think otherwise we're going to be too close. 6,000 feet or so. Alright, we're above 4,000. Let's make the turn now. Pretty sharp turn here. Alright. There we go. Alright. Now we should be able to get this. 3.5 miles away. Right there at the edge of that runway. Start slowing down. Finger on the weapon release. Get down to 2 miles. At idle. There we go. Those were great hits. I wanted to see, what about those trucks I hit? Oh, they were over here. They don't even have any smoke anymore. Just ashes. Alright, and then let's hit the Let's use up the rest of my ammo. Let's get up to 3,000 feet. There we go. Let's get 4 miles out. I think there's trucks at one other place. The runway that'll be closest to us still has some trucks on it. Alright, we're at 4 miles. Let's head out here. Wrong runway. Coming around. You can see waypoint 4 in the TAD. We're almost in front. Alright, here we go. There we go. Stay up here. 3,000 feet. 3.3 miles away. Start slowing down. I don't know if there's any here, but there's somewhere here.
Pull up, pull up.
All right.
Altitude, altitude.
Yeah, those ones I already hit. Well, we used up all of our ammo essentially. Whoops, wrong button. Disarm my weapons. Is anything on fire out there? Let's take a look. Yeah, some smoke. Let's take one final pass and look at our damage. $2,600 feet. Alright. Pretty cool. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Hope you enjoyed that. That's it for now.